question on how UFOs get here and how they do what they do. Have you shared this information with NASA or the United States government so that they could actually use this technology in spaceflight? Yes or no? Yes or no?
No, I haven't. Not yet.
Why not?
But it hinges on getting experimental data on extra dimensions. And what they're trying to prove now in physics, what I was going to get to here in a second, is the possibility that there may be additional dimensions above the 4 dimensions of space and time that historically has been known.
All right. So the let me see, how modern physics is revealing the technology of UFO is all theoretical.
Oh, yes, at this point. But once we prove that the extra dimensions are real, then at that point, that's where I think, there's 2 pieces to it, Rob. Mm-hmm. The second piece is what I would like to do is get spectrographic data, full range spectrographic data from UFO sightings. I'm looking for a particular type of emissions from UFOs. If we see it, it would almost certainly prove that they're using technology we are on the threshold of understanding ourselves, although we may not necessarily make the connection to the UFO phenomenon because they're not thinking about that right now.
Well, with all these people who say that there's been crash evidence of UFOs at Roswell, at Kecksburg, and other places, why hasn't the UFO community come up with the reverse engineering of UFO propulsion?
Well, I don't believe any of those crash stories.
Really?
I have to admit that. In a nutshell,
mm-hmm.
One of the common denominator of all those crash stories is if you read them and the details on them, you never see any attempt by the aliens to rescue their crashed UFO, mm-hmm. and that would be, and of course, I think the people who have come up with those stories or think that some aluminum in the desert that they found mm-hmm. is from a crashed UFO, they don't really. That's an aspect of it that they probably haven't thought about,
Right.
But could I go through this a little bit more physics?
Sure, we've got about a minute.
Oops, I'll do it real quick. It looks like the extra dimensions may be real. And if they are real, that may explain the weakness of gravity. It turns out that string theory suggests that the graviton is a closed loop, so it can travel into the extra dimensions, but all the other particles are stuck on a space-time membrane that we live on. And to make a long story short, I believe one of the theories out there is called warp geometry, mm-hmm. and it suggests that the extra dimensions are severely warped. If the UFOs can get into those extra dimensions, they can take advantage of that warping, which is believed to be 10 to the 16 power. That would allow them to get to another star system like Alpha Centauri, 4.3 light years from Earth. They could reduce the distance if they could get far enough into the extra dimension. They could reduce the distance to 25 miles. To the nearest star to us, which it's ordinarily 25 trillion miles to Alpha Centauri. If they could get into what they call the bulk, B-U-L-K, they could reduce that distance to 25 miles. And on numerous occasions...
Rob, I hate to do this. We've run out of time. I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I've got a funny feeling, Exo Nation, that time isn't the only thing that's warped around here. Do we really need to know? It's all theoretical. Hats off for coming up with these theories, but I think we're way off in time when we'll ever see any of this become a reality. I'll be back on the other side of the commercial break with the news as we continue here in the X Zone. Whatever you do, don't go away.